The great state of Ohio will play host to the 9,200-pound modified class. It's the 20th annual Kendall Oil Ohio State Fair, a part of the Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit. Hello, I'm Doc Riley, Power Pack Motorsports. And today in Ohio, pullers from all over the United States and Canada are here pulling for top dollar. It will be one great event. The 9,200-pound modified class on the Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit, a part of the NTPA.
We'd like to welcome you to this NTPA Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit event. It is brought to you by the Holton Oil Company and the Gutman Oil Company and Kendall Motor Oil. Right now, he's got it fired up. We hear him. The dirt slinger. He is our test puller. We want to get him down around the 250 to 300 foot mark. That way we know everything's adjusted properly. They can release all the power right out in front. The dirt slinger. Here's one. Oh my God. Look at the different type of air cleaner on top of this one. He's got him out there at about a 45-degree angle. It's another one of those tractors, has multi-stage clutches in it. Has two clutches in it. They're centrifugal clutches. They can adjust them for different amounts of RPM, different clearances, and so on. He likes to get the front end up, and he steers it with one wheel normally. Let's see if he can go. He is our test puller. Here he is, dirt slinger Bill Leishner, Welton, Illinois, with his Aries, 3 big Aries motors, all the most expensive motors in the country.
Bill Eichner, you've set the new mark in the class, 273 feet and 8 inches. Tell us a little bit about the run.
It was a pretty tough run. I couldn't get going out of the hole. It was pretty slick, and I had it in pretty big gear, and it wouldn't pull it on this other end and rode the brake. A lot of tough tractors to come. They're going to be some go by it pretty easy.
Now, you hooked up on the right side, and it kind of slid towards the middle of the track. What about the track condition right now?
I think the track will stay about the same now. It's going to be pretty fair for everybody. There's some horsepower back there. It's going to shine.
The dirt slinger, Bill Eichner, with the mark to beat right now, 273 feet and 8 inches.
Mr. Ed, look at this. It's coming out the General. The General is coming out now. Gardner Stone, Middlebury, Vermont. Four T55 turbine engines. Gardner started out with a single engine, went to multi-engines. He went the Allisons and so on. Look at the front of this one. He has airplane tires on the front of it, real little ones. This guy told me, he said he just loves to have something different than anyone else. Hey, look at that, he's the right, he's the left, he's got it, he shut her down. The General.
Gardner Stone goes the distance right out of the gate to General Stage 4. The Kendall Motor Oil flag will have to be moved. Well, Gardner Stone, you put it all together. It takes quite a bit of concentration, a lot of bit of work from your general pulling team, but you finally got it together this time around and go full pull.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the help everybody's given me here, and hopefully we can come back in the pull-off and do good too.
Looking down across our list, it looks like David Banner from Indiana. The Banner brothers, here they come. Those Garrett engines, Chevys all the way. The Banner brothers. Mr. Chevy, that's right. The Banners do a superb job of engineering of gearboxes, pulling parts, engines and all. I mean, they are top shelf perfectionists when it comes to tractor pulling. Mr. Chevy, the Banner brothers. Gardner Stone has rocketed it out the end with his turbine with a full pull. even act like he was working the engines as he went down the track. The front wheel, they were balanced well. He carried the front end a little bit. You noticed he started on the right. It veered to the left, but he knew if he left it go, he was still going to make it. Mr. Chevy, full pull.
Well, David Banner, you've done it again. Mr. Chevy, the first of two.
Well, the track's a little hard to get her going out of the hole. You know, it's really a slow run coming out. But if you can get it going there by 150 feet and get it on that downhill side of it, you can get her going on out here, I think.
5 Aries engine. The Jaskies last year voted the Pulling Family of the Year. One of the most prestigious awards that anyone can have bestowed upon them. The Miller High Life Pulling Team. This tractor finished for a tie of 3rd in the nation last year. Tied for 3rd last year in the nation.
Miller High Life, Steve Jaski, again, trying to go full pull and join Gardner Stone and David Banner.
The Aries, hold your ears, because this one's really going to make it hurt. They have a tire grinding business also up in Wisconsin. A full pull, he kept it in bounds. He headed toward the left side. It looks like the sled's still in bounds.
Steve Jaski, good effort right there at full pull. Got the front end up a little high. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm not real sure. It didn't come out of the hole real good. In fact, I was really panicking because I thought it was too heavy coming out of the hole, and I thought, boy, it's going to be a long, slow run here. And about 100 feet, it finally hooked up, and maybe it was a little light then. But it's going to take a good effort to try to get out of the hole to get it moving.
Definitely a good effort. Steve Jaski, Miller High Life Pulling Team, and he has now entered with the rest in the pull-off coming up.
The Texas Flash, and he flashed earlier this week right down the track at a tremendous amount of speed back here in the 9,200-pound modified class.
The Texas Flash. Donald Nelson out of Cat Springs, Texas, pulling for the Lone Star State. The Texas Flash, Don Nelson with a good effort. In the distance to beat in the 9,200 modified class is the full pull mark. Steve Jaski, David Banner, and Gardner Stone all in the pull-off in the 9,200 class.
Now we've got one Banner out at the end. Here comes another Banner tractor. David Banner driving this one also out of Indiana. This one's called the Bandit. We had Mr. Chevy. Now we've got the Bandit. This one here likes to make a robbery and keep right on going to the next pull. He loves to make a hold up, hold these other guys up on the track, blow past them, go right on. That's why they call it the Bandit. You never know when he's going to strike. David Banner representing the Banner brothers.
Banner has done it again. Put himself into the pull-off with 2 vehicles. The Bandit qualifies going 300 feet of full pull.
All right, they're firing up. Wayne Keefe out of Hebron, Connecticut. 454 Chevys. 5 of them. 5 of them. That's right. Reed Sports. Sudden Thunder. He's spotted over on the right side of the track. We've had 4 out the end so far with full pulls. 4 of them. And I mean, they have been impressive. The ones that have taken it out the end. And this gentleman would love to join them. 454 Chevy. May not be the biggest cubic inches, but they're very consistent. Very powerful when you start stacking them on top of each other. Wayne Keefe out of Connecticut. Tractor called Sudden Thunder. Sudden Thunder. He is right down amongst them, real close.
Wayne Keefe is just short of a full pull.
Hale Woodward out of New Hampshire. Marlboro, New Hampshire. Allison Aircraft Engines Plus. There's 2 Allison Aircraft engines on it, but look at it, there's 2 Chevy motors on it also. They're sideways, back at the back. Allison Aircraft engines and Chevy. What a combination, Mr. Ed. We've got 4 tractors out the end so far. Will he make it 5? Crackle pop, but it wasn't Rice Krispies either.
That's right, Tommy. You hear? I thought maybe I was hearing things, but sure enough, it was kind of a backfiring, kind of deep down in the throat.
The final entry in the modified class this afternoon. The final entry, John Heilman, Rockford, Ohio. There's a great Buckeye, the Levi Garrett pulling team. John Heilman, former winner here at the Ohio State Fair, many times winner on the national circuit. We've got 4 out the end so far. This guy's trying to make it 5. Well, let's see if a Buckeye can add right on to the list. John Heilman, Rockford, Ohio.
John Heilman will go the distance into the pull-up as he goes 300 feet of full pull.
It makes it 5 out the end right now with full pulls.
Well, John Heilman, a great pull for you right there. You go the whole distance and go into the pull-up. How is the Levi Garrett machine running?
Tractor's running perfect. It's done the job today. I think we can come back in the pull-off and do even better. Good track, good to be here at the Ohio State Fair, and it's just good to see the Levi Garrett machine running fine, you know. Really a pleasure to be here.
Good enough. Best of luck to you. And we will have the pull-off coming up right after this. We're back. 9200 modified class here at the Ohio State Fair. The Kendall Oil and Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit. We have got a pull-off in the 9200 modified class. Gardner Stone bringing the general back. David Banner has Mr. Chevy and the Bandit in the pull-up. Also coming up will be John Heilman in the Levi Garrett machine and Miller High Life Steve Jaski. It's the pull-up 9200 modified class.
Oh my gosh, the general is back. They're going to pull in a pull-off in the same exact order that they went out the end the first time. And that means Gardner Stone. Gardner Stone is out here now. Middlebury, Vermont. Tim Engler chassis, 4 T55 turbine jet engines. Edwards, 4 of them. He had a miss in it about 100 feet the last time in the first round of competition.
Rick Harris gives them the green flag, and the general is cleared for takeoff.
About it missing on the first round, about the 100-foot mark. It popped, it sneezed, it wheezed. The general was working on it back in the staging area. Obviously, they had more problems than what they had first anticipated.
Yeah, we had 2 to 3 motors that were compressor stalling. That's because we hit it pretty hard on the line. The run probably could be beat, but it's a halfway decent run.
Coming up now, David Banner. David Banner with a tractor called Mr. Chevy. Mr. Chevy, they're in from Indiana, the Banners. This tractor has 6 motors on it. He thinks he may have a chance at it now since the general had mechanical problems. This probably is his best chance, even though the general had problems, to get into that lead, Ed.
the gate, full pull.
What a great, great run. Doc, take it away.
Fine run. David Banner coming through in Mr. Chevy, and I tell you, it looked like a wild one right there, David.
Well, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Indeed, a good one. Just your thoughts on that right there.
Yeah. Oh, you know, a run like that, you know, I don't know what to say. You know, that's tractor pulling.
I'll tell you something. You and this machine right here did all the talking.
Yeah, Chevrolet, and that's where it's at, I guess. I don't know. It's a good run, I guess.
A good run, he says, I guess. A great run. David Banner, Mr. Chevy, goes the distance, 300 feet, and the rest of the 92 mods will have to catch him.
You'll not see a greater run in a pull-off than we saw there. I mean, when he sucks it out the end twice in a row. Now what's going to happen, Tom? What do you think? Will there be a pull-off for the pull-off?
Well, there's a good chance. We've got some incredible tractors coming up yet. Coming up now, Steve Jaski out of Wisconsin with 5 Aries motors, the pulling family of the year. 5 of them, count them, one of the most expensive motors on the circuit.
Steve Jaski, ladies and gentlemen, put them together. Miller High Life pulling.
Now we've got one Banner out the end. Here comes another Banner tractor. David Banner driving this one also out of Indiana. This one's called the Bandit.
Same spot as last time. David Banner does it one more time. A full pull to force the pull-up with Mr. Chevy. The Bandit and Mr. Chevy have done it. A full pull tractor pulling band. It is fantastic.
Here comes Mr. Levi Garrett, it looks like. Wow. He has his work cut out for him. We've got 2 full pulls. Another guy sitting at 276 even. Gardner Stone at 262.9. John Heilman, Rockford, Ohio.
John Heilman real close to getting in there, and he is going to be in the money, ladies and gentlemen. Well, an unusual thing happened here in Columbus, Ohio during the 20th annual Kendall Ohio State Fair, right here on the Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit. Dave Banner, you took first and second place. An incredible performance today.
Thank you, thank you. That, you know, when you can lay down 2 runs like that and to win a pull, it's really a great feeling.
The 9200 modified class with some other great pullers in it to force the pull-off, but just a fantastic job out of you, and not only yourself, but the Banner Brothers crew behind you.
It takes more than me to get it down the track, that's for sure. You know, with all the product sponsors I got, Chevrolet, Kendall Oil, you know, Moroso, and just go on and on naming names. It's nice to know that in that second run when you're pushing it that hard, you got Kendall Oil in there, right? That gives you a good feeling. But I want to say thanks to all the sponsors of the event, you know, Copenhagen-Skoal, and anybody that's involved and all the people that did work there. That's great.
That wraps up the 9200 modified class at the 20th annual Kendall Ohio State Fair Grand National Event, part of the Copenhagen-Skoal Pulling Circuit, a part of the NTPA.